Today I will be discussing wearable technology in the classroom. Today's focus will be mostly on the Galaxy Gear first generation smartwatch. Here is the Samsung Galaxy Gear first generation smartwatch. The display is a 1.62-inch screen with a 320 by 320 resolution. The Samsung Galaxy Gear 1 is a smartwatch with different apps or applications that can be used as an effective tool in the classroom. One that I would personally use when working with my students, or if they were using this device, would be for them to use the camera aspect. When thinking about the device, uh, I know it's hard to see clearly on the picture on the actual camera, but as you can see, this is what's being portrayed on an overhead or on the board. And so the student can use the camera that's on the device to actually take a picture of it. That way they can go back and look at the picture and get the information that is needed, or formulas, anything that they deemed useful to be able to answer or ask questions about later on. Another application that I would use for this device is the voice memo. Voice memo actually records their voice from this application. It can record up to 5 minutes each time. It records their voice or voices around them, so it can be used to take notes as from a lecture, or they can even ask themselves a question and go back to it to see if they can answer it or have someone explain what they didn't understand later on. One thing that I would remind the students though is that they need to make sure that they explain to the instructor or the professor or whoever is doing the lesson, and have them know that they are using this device so that they, for one, are not distracting other students around them, or two, that they're not looking like they're talking to themselves. Here's an example of how to use this application. If the instructor was talking about a formula that they needed to know about, they could press record, and now they're recording. As you can see, when they speak, the equalizer goes up and down, and they can play back whatever's being said or asking themselves. Once you stop the recording and are done, what will end up happening is it will actually save it to your device, and you can look at your device later to see what recordings you have on there. It's a great tool to use when taking down notes or listening to a lecture from an instructor. Another application that I would use is S-Voice. S-Voice is a assistant on the Galaxy Gear device that allows you to create events or tasks that you can use when thinking about uh, your assignments, or thinking about an event that's coming up, say for example an exam or a quiz. What we're going to be looking at today is talking about adding an event or reading, assigning a task. So as you can see here, uh, let me get a little bit clearer. You can add an event or check an event, and it will actually walk you through step by step what to say and how to assign it. Once you've done that, you can always go back and check it to see what is available on your device, or you can also create a event and the device will pick it up. Same thing with a task. You can create a task by saying create a task, and it will walk you through the steps to create a task and make sure that you assign a name to it and what is the task to complete. For example, here is a task for Friday, and it's to finish project by Thursday. Again, this is a healthy way. This is a helpful way to make sure that you remind yourself of what needs to be accomplished, or it can also be a useful tool to make sure that you remind yourself when a test is coming up or when to study for a test and things to study for by using these two different aspects of the S voice. The Samsung Galaxy Gear can be a great tool to use in the classroom as a student or as an instructor. As you can see here, there are other applications that can be used, but for the most part, the three that I talked about would be the ones that the students can use effectively in the class. I know that some others might say that you could use some other applications, but for my classroom, I think these would be the most effective to use. Thank you so much for watching the video, and